Alright, I got the new setup, went out, spent some of my money, decided that I wanted to full commit on this whole YouTube thing, whether it be on my podcast or just little videos like these, where I talk about Utah, okay? Utah lost a big one. Utah lost a huge one tonight against Oregon. And that affects my Sooners. That affects the Baylor Bears. But only if you consider the fact that Georgia plays number 2 LSU tomorrow. Why is that important? Because if Georgia beats number 2 LSU, I'd like to say LSU probably still gets in. And that means we have 2 SEC teams, no Big 12, and no Pac-12 anywhere to be found. But for the Pac-12, that means you are now 3 years in to the college football playoff without a representative. Y'all are eating yourselves alive, and that's coming from a Big 12 fan that literally has to watch the Big 12 eat itself alive every year, having to play every single team. There's no divisions. Pac-12 has divisions and still manages to eat itself alive. And like Jeff mentioned in our podcast, if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it because it's a very informative video. The only reason the SEC is committed, or that's not what I'm about to say, the only reason the SEC doesn't eat itself alive is because every SEC team seems to be ranked going in, So if every SEC team except like Vanderbilt and Duke are ranked going in, when you eat yourself alive, it looks good for the top. You're so top heavy, it doesn't matter anymore. If you're top heavy, then you have Alabama, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, LSU that look so good, but they're not that good. So like LSU, if LSU loses, obviously they don't, I don't know. I think you just, it hurts my head because, I know there's some really loyal Notre Dame fans out there, but Notre Dame, why do you get to get in? Like, if BYU ever came to that, why do you get to get in? Why do we give these independent league guys a better chance to get into the playoff like Notre Dame did last year, rather than the group of 5? I'm not a huge group of 5 guy, but why? The ACC might as well be a group of 5 except for Clemson, and Clemson's the only one that's ever going to get in. It's kind of a struggle with the whole name brand thing, because now what's really big for the college football playoff, is if the cards lay out right, OU loses to Baylor and Georgia loses to LSU, Baylor gets in. And Baylor's not a big name school like, OU, Alabama, LSU, Ohio State, now Clemson, So it's a big deal for those smaller schools. Tomorrow's a big day. Utah could have fit its name in there. I honestly believe if Utah and Oklahoma, if they both win and Georgia loses, Utah's getting in. No matter how you lay the cards down, Utah gets in, because the college football playoff isn't going to keep one single conference out every single year. Just like they're going to put an SEC team in every single year, they're not going to leave one conference out every single year, but they still have to meet the criteria. So a 1-loss Utah is going to go in over a 1-loss Oklahoma. But speaking of which, the criteria, right? Why in the world are we never going to get to see? Okay, I can't get into that right now because I really do want to have a conversation about that, but I'm gonna try to find somebody to have that conversation with. All right, Because these podcast things that I put up just a couple days ago, those are my big plans with this channel. And I really want to commit to this channel. But I'm bouncing off the walls because now my team has a chance to make the playoff. I am an OU fan. My team can make the playoff. And that's a big deal for me because, like, they haven't done anything in the playoff. And on a more down year than usual, my trust level is not even close to as high as it has been the last 2 years. And if OU can pull off a win against an LSU, which I see jumping to number 1 if they beat Georgia tomorrow, if that happens and OU plays LSU, who I feel like they're most set up to beat, I think Ohio State wins it all, okay? But I just need OU to pick up a win in the playoff. They need respect. They have no respect. Who's going to respect a team that's 0-3 in the playoff, right? Like, I'm an OU fan, and it's that national stage is get CD something, man. That dude works his butt off to be where he is. He's going to be playing on Sundays. He'll probably have a ring sooner or later. He's that good. I don't see any reason why not. But, I could bounce off subject to subject right now. It's really late. I'm really tired. I have an SAT in the morning. And OU Baylor kickoff at 11 a.m. And I'll be in a room testing. Sounds absolutely terrible. But that's it really for me. Utah. Pac-12. Y'all hurting. Y'all hurting tonight. All y'all. Except Oregon. Oregon's celebrating. But the rest of y'all hurting. Big 12. You celebrating. SEC's neutral. Because no matter what, you have a team in. Because the SEC is the SEC. Sorry for kind of bouncing off the walls. I'm tired. Peace, guys.